really excited for tonight's call because we're not just doing a call, we're doing a channeling on the Venus and Mars energies. Mars has just gone direct. Venus is about to go retrograde on March 1st, and this is very much twin flame energy. We've been talking about Mars retrograde for a couple of weeks now. Mars went retrograde in December. It just turned direct a couple of days ago, and as we have channeled, Mars is all about, well, what it was about this past retrograde was about conflict, clearing the conflict. And that could be conflict within relationships, or that could be conflict within ourselves. So clearing the conflict, that's what was so important. And now that it's gone direct, it's like the path is open, because all that conflict, anything that was karmic, anything that you were dueling with within yourself or even externally with others, that has been cleared. The path has been cleared. However, not all is smooth sailing yet, because Venus is going retrograde March 1st, and I want to talk about both of them. So first, let's talk about what the significance of Mars and Venus actually is. Mars is connected to Aries in the zodiac, and Aries, Ares, the mythological figure. It is the warrior. It's all about ambition, fire, drive. He's known as the god of war. This planet is associated with action, willpower, and forward energy, moving forward. It's active energy because it is that fire energy. Venus is also known as Aphrodite in Greek mythology. She is ruled by Taurus and Libra in the zodiac. She is the goddess of love. She's known as the lover. She is all about love, beauty, harmony, and relationships. If you're thinking relationships, that's all Venus energy. When you have these two forces, and in Greek mythology, they were the lovers. There was Ares and Aphrodite, and they were partners. They were the lovers. It was like a fated love affair, a fated love. And so when you have these complementary forces in astrology and even in mythology with Ares and Aphrodite, you have this passion. You also even have this intensity. It is twin flame energy. And both are passion in complementary ways. So you have Aries, who is passionate in a very ambitious way, a driven way, that fiery way. And you have Venus, that is passionate in a very sensual way, in a very pleasurable way, in a very desire way, a very loving way. So passion plays a part, and passion is a driving force, isn't it? Passion is really what creates worlds. It's what I'm actually seeing is it's the masculine and the feminine. That's why we're talking about it with twin flames, because it is the masculine and the feminine. And what you have when you have the passion ignited between the masculine and the feminine, and we're not just talking sexual passion. Sexual passion is the energy with which this passion expresses itself, but it's not just sexual passion. It is the emotional connection. It is the spiritual heart, soul to soul connection. It is the intellectual connection. It is all of it. It's the whole picture. So it's not just sexual. Especially in our world, we have convoluted sexual energy as just, flings and casual encounters. But this is, I'm just getting the word tantra. This is that not just intense passion and energy, but it is sensual. It is using all of your senses. It is connecting all of your chakras. It is energy itself, and love is that energy that we're talking about here. It is love. And so when we're talking about passion, it is heightened love, maybe even intense love. And what they're showing me is higher frequency love. So when you have those two energies come together, that's creation energy. When you have a masculine and you have a feminine, in biology, it's male and female, right? Come together, creates the child. The same thing with the masculine and the feminine, it gives birth to creation. And now what that looks like, it could be an actual child. I keep hearing the phrase golden energy. So it could be an actual child. It could be a business. It could be a relationship. It could be, whatever that it creates in your life. It's a creation energy. And it's a golden energy. And golden energy, the way that they're bringing this to me is this. Okay, I'm going to use this as an example. It's this. They just showed me this. I have this on my bulletin board here. This is a sun card, but it's like this supernova. And we've been channeling that forever. forever, since the beginning. I have it in my book, The Unicode. I have it in the channelings. When twin flames especially come together in that harmony, in conscious connection, in sacred union, the energy between you two, when it is balanced, when it is pure, when it is that just that energy of love, which is what you're doing, you're clearing out anything that isn't love. When it comes together, it is a cosmic effect. It is a supernova of love. That's the golden energy. That's what it creates. It creates a new world. You're creating a new world. And that new world, that new paradigm, again, can be a physical child. It could be a business. It could be a relationship. It could be a family. It could be whatever it expresses itself as. It is a creation. A couple of key points when it comes to astrological charts and Mars and Venus energy. Now, this does not have to apply to everybody or all twin flames. I've noticed this, especially within myself and with my own counterpart. When you have Mars and Venus in the same sign or the same house, it signifies a unified love. So, for example, I have Mars and Venus both in Leo, the zodiac of Leo. This is indicative of how you attract and pursue love. And when it's in the same sign and or the same house, it means that it's in sync. For example, how you're pursuing love, which is the Mars energy, again, active energy, and how you are attracting love, which is the Venus energy, that is in sync with each other. It's in balance with each other. It also creates heightened magnetism and intensity. When you have it in the same house, that's where it manifests. So the place where it manifests. And now if you have the same sign in the same house, then that's just pure alignment. So for example, you might have your Mars in Virgo and your Venus in Virgo, but your Mars in Virgo is in the first house and your Venus in Virgo is in the 12th house, for example. For myself, I actually have my Mars and Venus in Leo both in the 8th house. That indicates soul deep transformation. The 8th house is all about relationships, it's about rebirth, it's about transformation. And actually having had my astrology charts read, I go every 6 months to an astrologer just to make sure that I'm in alignment with myself. As I've come more into balance and in alignment, that's literally reflecting in my astrology. And so anywhere where I'm off balance, that's just the places that I need to focus on or work on. So it's always awesome to see how in alignment everything is. It's soul deep transformative work. And so that shows me that I'm literally doing what I'm meant to be doing. Talking about twin flames, channeling twin flames, sacred unions, deep partnerships, because that is coded within me. That is literally my coding. That is literally my astrology. I'm literally in alignment with my mission, with my service, with what I'm meant to be talking about, what I'm meant to be doing, and what I'm meant to be experiencing. It's literally right there in my chart. It blows my mind. And so what this shows us is that for myself, with my Mars and Venus and Leo in the 8th house, is that I don't just want that soul deep love, but my soul demands it, which means that I've raised my standards, which means that I can't settle for anything casual. And that's true my whole life. It's that kind of thing. It's not just that you want that and you're attracting that, but that's who you are. So take a look at your astrology charts and see where you might be in your where your Mars and Venus is. Is it in the same sign? Is it in the same house? So keep taking a look and see how it resonates for you, how that Mars and Venus energy resonates for you. Because when it's in alignment, you don't want to settle for less, right? And when you meet your twin flame, it's like, yeah, you can see where you might have been settling for less, and now you don't want that anymore. Right? Now you've been activated to a higher frequency and a higher energy of love. What does Mars direct and Venus retrograde actually mean? It is a shift in love and connection. It means that we are moving forward, but we're also reflecting. So Mars is moving forward, it's direct, it's ready to take action, but Venus is like, oh, hold on a minute. Put on the brakes. Let's just wait a minute. Let's actually see what we're moving forward into. That's what Venus is saying. Mars is like, let's go. I'm ready. I'm decided. I'm ready to take action. I know what I want. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. And Venus is like, hold on a minute. Let me just make sure that everything is copacetic. Let me just make sure that everything's in alignment first. Let's just make sure that we have a strong foundation. Let's make sure that we know what we're doing. Let me make sure I know what that looks like. Mars direct, again, action, ready to go for what it wants. Energy is up, intention is set. You have your goals and your passions that are clear. We've been talking about this in our Sacred Union energy updates about how this is what the Divine Masculine has been experiencing. They've been going through this like strategy period, right? Trying to put things into place either in their physical world or their mind. And they're just kind of, they're not quite there yet taking action, physical action, but they're getting things into place. That was Mars retrograde. And conflict might have been coming up, but again, it's clearing that conflict, even clearing that karma in order to prepare for that moving forward. Everything's preparation. When there's a slowdown, it's an opportunity for you to get further into alignment, to connect deeper to yourself, deeper to what you want, deeper to your desires, deeper to your authentic truth. And that's exactly what the masculine has been doing, the masculine energy. This could be your own inner masculine, your own inner Mars energy, right? So look at what Mars retrograde was doing for you. The path is open and there's a self-esteem that's coming through, a building of confidence. And again, we've been channeling this for the masculine in the Sacred Union updates. Venus retrograde, coming on the heels of Mars going direct. And Mars doesn't go direct very often. I think the last time it was 2.5 years ago. So this was a rare occurrence. And again, this was a preparation time. There's union energy that is here. Actually, take a look back at the Sacred Union energy updates from like 2021, 2022, because I feel like we're back on par with that kind of energy and those messages, but now we're at a higher frequency of that. Now we're at a higher consciousness of that. So those messages might relate, but they'll be more integrated and more embodied now. They'll make more sense. You'll feel that energy more. It's going to be more connected now. Venus retrograde now. Again, Mars energy is like, let's go. And Venus is like, hold your horses. Venus retrograde is inner reflection and reevaluation around love and relationships, especially when it comes to your self-worth, when it comes to how you see yourself, your beliefs about yourself, and your beliefs about love and relationship and connection. So you'll be reevaluating what you want. So again, standards up, standards are raised, right? Get very clear about what is it that you want. Because you're getting clear about who it is that you are. So get very clear about like what your standards are. You know, what kind of love are you going to accept or not accept? That's what Venus retrograde is going to be all about. There might be, because Mars is direct and Venus is retrograde, there might be a little bit of a push and pull. Aren't we used to that already, right? Because, again, there might be that push and pull, Mars direct and Venus retrograde. The guidance here is to create a stable foundation first. Don't make big movements, don't make rash decisions, especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to your relationship with your counterpart. Trust your intuition. I always advocate for that. Trust your intuition. Trust what your soul is telling you. Trust your heart, where you're guided. Always trust yourself. Always, always, always. However, make sure that it is truly your soul and not your ego that's at play here, okay? Because there might be some ego that comes up during this retrograde that's just being asked to be looked at. Ego is all about patterns. What patterns have you been replaying in love and relationships? And what is being brought up to the surface to be cleared? That's what Venus retrograde is all about. Looking at love and relationship and clearing anything that is no longer in alignment with not only who you are, but who you want to be. The divine feminine that you want to be. The relationship, the connections that you want to have, anything that is no longer in alignment, that's what's being cleared. So don't make big movements, don't make rash decisions, take your time and trust your heart. I also want to say, honor the timing of things. Union does not have to be rushed. That's ego. That is all ego. When you're pushing for it, when you're forcing it, when you feel like time is lost or you're losing time, that's what I call the time wound, right? We've talked about that before. When you feel like you have to, when you feel like you have to take action, divine feminine, when you feel like, oh, nothing's going to happen if I don't do this, like that's all ego, and that's what we want to clear. You want to be in the energy of trusting the inner guidance, taking action when you're guided. That's your balance of your masculine and your feminine, but also making sure that you're in your feminine energy of trusting the unfolding, having faith in the flow of your connection in life. And that also means trusting your masculine. You have to trust each other. You have to trust each other. You have to. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. Like, that's the energy that's coming through. Like, you have to trust each other. And that starts first with your inner union, trusting your inner masculine and feminine, so that you're not listening to the ego, but that you're trusting the inner guidance of your feminine energy, your intuition, and you're taking action on that. That's trust within your masculine and feminine and balance. And then the more you're in union with that, the more you build that physical connection and relationship with your physical counterpart, the more you build that foundation of trust with each other. You have to learn to trust each other, and that is a foundation that's built too. So create that stable foundation first. Don't rush anything. That's going to be so important, especially as many of you are going to be experiencing. I know that you have been experiencing connection again. Trust that. Trust the unfolding of that. Don't rush it. Don't force it. But just allow yourself to take those steps that you're guided to take. And know that a foundation is being built, especially energetically. Trust the energy of things. You don't have to rush the physical. It will all play out. The energy comes first, right? So the more you're in alignment, the more you're going to see that alignment in your physical, in harmony and harmonious communication and interaction with your counterpart. How is this playing out with regards to twin flame dynamics and the masculine and the feminine energies? Well, like we just said, there's forward momentum. Yeah, many of you guys are experiencing connection, phone calls, meetings, maybe even chance meetings, running into each other. Maybe you're seeing them pop up on social media. Maybe you're experiencing them on the periphery, where you might be interacting with their family or their friends, or running into family or friends or whatever. You might also be having more energetic input, energetic experiences. So there might be more heightened telepathy, heightened dream state where you're communicating more with your counterpart. And if you're not, don't feel like you're behind anything. You're not. You're exactly where you need to be. Don't feel the lack of anything. Just know that this is what is coming then as a result of your growth, as a result of transformation, right? As a result of the forward flow of your connection. So don't get into a state of lack if you're not seeing anything in the physical. Tune into your intuition, tune into your higher heart, because that's where the connection resides first. So forward momentum, especially for the masculine. The masculine is feeling this heightened energy. The word of caution is to make sure it's the right energy. Is he in the Knight of Wands energy, where he is very brazen, almost reckless, rash? Or is he the King energy, where he is confident, where he is taking action from a place of regalness and leadership and balance within himself? Which energy is it? That's going to be part of Venus retrograde, is evaluating, number one, your beliefs, your desires, your standards, and making sure that what you're experiencing is in alignment with that. Retrograde is going to be very important for building a new foundation, creating a new stable foundation for these unions to take root. It's like what I'm seeing is a tree being planted, right? And the roots, when they're dug, so okay, I'm just gonna give you the example of what I'm seeing. So when you have a baby tree being planted, like a new tree being planted, what happens is they dig a hole that's deep enough, and they transfer the tree into the hole. And it takes a little bit of time for the soil to settle, for the roots to settle, and the roots to really take hold into the earth, right? And once it does, that's when the tree itself can flourish. That's when the tree itself can bloom. That's what's happening now. What you've done is you have cleared the space for this new tree, for this new foundation, for this new connection. And that's what it really is. It's a new connection. It might be the same counterpart, but it's a new connection because you're a new version of yourself, and your counterpart's going to be a new version of themselves, or maybe even for some, a new counterpart, a new person. It just depends on what your dynamic is or what you're experiencing. Some haven't met their person yet. Some haven't. Some had catalyst connections, and you're meeting your divine partner. Some it is the same person, but just in a different energy, in a higher energy, in the divine energy, the conscious, sacred masculine. So it just depends on your journey. Don't let that trigger you. You will know what your journey is. Tree being planted is your new connection. You have a new connection. It just takes some time to settle. Give it that time to settle. Enjoy the getting to know each other again. Enjoy, I talk about this in the reunion and reconciliation channeling all the time in my readings too. It's enjoy this phase of the journey because now you're conscious of it. Before you were unconscious, and so it triggered all sorts of pain, but now you're conscious of it. So, Mars direct, Venus retrograde, super powerful energies coming through here. Like I have been channeling, especially in the year ahead reading, we're picking up momentum and all the sacred union energies updates, the ascension energy updates. Make sure that you're watching the support readings here in the membership. Make sure that you are watching the readings on YouTube because it's all interconnected. It's all playing a part in the whole of our sacred union path of ascension. Okay, that is going to be it for tonight then. Thank you guys so much for being here and participating, and hopefully I will see you next month. The next one is going to be March 12th, so we'll be knee deep in Venus retrograde energy, so we will see how this is playing out. I'm sending you guys so much love and so much light. Have a wonderful evening.